The worst extortion by a narcissist. Welcome to today's topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles Life Coaching, decade-long recipient of narcissistic abuse, and I've saved myself from it. And I will support you on your journey to your personal freedom. So the basic premise of today's video is the following. Imagine you have a narcissistic partner, narcissistic boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whichever. And there comes a point in your relationship when he or she threatens you with prematurely ending their own existence because you, unless you perform action A or not perform action B. Basically, your behavior is supposedly is supposed to suit their need. Otherwise, they wouldn't need to let you know that nothing short of their own life is at stake, based on your action or inaction. Now, before we delve more deeply into this very difficult topic of today's video, there is one aspect to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and this is to not trivialize end-of-life thoughts and possible actions of someone telling you that. So we need to make a certain differentiation. When someone, a normal person, due to very dire circumstances over time, approaches you, someone important to you approaches you with their own end-of-life thoughts and plans, this is to be taken seriously, because this is very likely to be a cry for help. And in an possibly or hopefully immediate next step, you will help them acquire or find a psychologist who's able to help them get through this and get their life, the life basis and basics sorted out. If this threat of personal existence ending comes from somebody with borderline personality disorder, it is also to be taken very seriously, because it is, in the vast majority of cases, exactly what they are thinking about and planning to do, especially during a time where maybe you are in the process of leaving him or her. And now we come to the narcissist. Regardless of the subtype, studies have shown that most narcissists that hold such thoughts of prematurely ending their existence and communicating them to you do actually not go through with it, which is a vast difference between somebody with borderline and a narcissist. This is why today's video focuses solely on narcissists uttering any form of this content that shows you that they're planning to end their existence. Now, that said, you hear this now from a narcissist. If you leave me, I don't know if I can go on. I can call it quits if you leave me. Whichever form or shape this takes, when it comes from a narcissist, we are now in the realm of attempted extortion. And this is not only vile, it is highly cowardly, because it aims at one thing: control over you. This usually comes during a time when that narcissist experiences narcissistic collapse. Why? Because you have been pondering and thinking about and actually planning on leaving that relationship. So what, in the perspective of him or her, what you're actually doing is you have reduced your quality and amount of supply, that your narcissistic supply that you've been providing, and you're actually presenting the sword of Damocles of not at all being narcissistic supply anymore forever. So this, among other aspects that we've talked about during narcissistic collapse videos on this channel, is something that might very likely cause such thoughts and communication about them toward you. So to conclude this part of the video, when such a threat, such a prospect comes from is being uttered by a narcissist, you really shouldn't offer your understanding, because it's not even meant to be that. Not even meant to. They don't even mean to go through with this in most cases. It is just the ultimate control attempt, because everything else has already failed, which should give you good insight into your own process of removing yourself from them. Because all the gaslighting, all the manipulation has ceased, you've managed to diminish its power over you. And now comes the attempt of the ultimate extortion. So what's the goal behind it? As mentioned already, uttering words like these are meant to induce in you that you actually act out action A, or that you refuse to act out action B, whichever is the preferred outcome for the narcissist. They will make it very clear. So where does it start? Narcissistic collapse? Yes. Diminishing supply? Yes. Probably, but not limited to, your attempt to leave them, to leave him or her. This is basically like a house-ruled Uno +4 card. House-ruled in the way that it can be played at any time. It doesn't even require to be put on the table, but can be taken back to the hand. So you're trying to leave them, +4. There you go. Where does it end? You gotta book this vacation for us. This is the only thing that will save our relationship. And if you love me, you will do this. +4. There you go. Where does it end? And let's have a brief moment of fun with it. What if you don't do the dishes 3 times in a row in a week? Does the ultimate +4 come out again? If it works once, it sure as hell should work every time. For whichever circumstance, why bother with any other manipulation attempt when this is the one that yields the results every time? So what is this? What is this attempt and behavior toward you, threatening you with them ending their own existence prematurely? It is many things at once. It is gaslighting. It is gaslighting in the way that, until that moment, your perception of reality was that you are responsible for your own life. And, in addition to that, that you are not responsible for his or her life. Now, with this threat looming over you and the relationship, apparently, your frame starts to crumble because you doubt this reality, because apparently you are in fact actually responsible for his or her life. And you start to believe it over time. And you adapt accordingly when it comes to your actions or lack thereof, depending on what's desired. It is, in addition to gaslighting, sheer and plain and simple extortion. If you don't do this, I do that, knowing that this will hurt you. It is a masterclass in cowardice Because apparently you're responsible for each and every one of his or her whims and feelings, which you're not. But that's the coward's perspective, that you are. And last but not least, it is another attempt to deflect responsibility. So in order for you, ladies and gentlemen, to extrapolate and show you how pathetic this attempt, this threat of a narcissist directed at you is, I will change, for most of the parts of the rest of the video, I will change who I address. In a few moments I will no longer address you, but I will address narcissists watching from this part of the video on, and I will address other people that actually authentically hold the thoughts and plans of actually prematurely ending their own lives. And you, ladies and gentlemen, can sit back and hopefully learn a thing or two as to what's actually being said and how much pressure is being put on you when someone in your life, regardless of motivation, puts that bag in your corner. So, we'll be live in 3, 2. Hi, I'm Tobias. I'm a life coach. I'm not a death coach. So, as I've heard, you are actually planning to prematurely end your own existence. And I can only tell you, with as much polite force as possible, that you do not follow through with it. I know that you've probably tried to cry out for help and or make somebody else, your intimate partner, let's say, do something or not do something. All right, registered. But I would like you to also understand how much pressure, emotionally and psychologically, you are putting on the person you're actually saying this and communicating this to. Because I don't think most of you understand yet. The person you're saying this to, that their action or inaction in whichever way will likely cause you to call it quits and prematurely end your own existence, causes an immense emotional pressure. And people, this person in your life that you're communicating this to, is starting to project what you've been thinking about, how, which method you will maybe not use and employ in order to achieve the apparently desired outcome. So option A, pulling the string. I will use gummy bear language in order to be able to say it here. So pulling the string, option 1. Apparently you've been thinking about the strength and thickness of the rope. Apparently you've been thinking about the durability of the roof structure so that it can support your weight or lack thereof. And you've apparently been pondering if you have sufficient strength that in a moment of doubt you might even be able to save yourself. This is the pressure you're putting on your partner. This is what they think that you're thinking about. This is how graphic it becomes for him or her. Option 2. Bathwater coloration masterclass. Apparently you've been pondering the tools you require. Apparently you've been pondering the patience and willpower that is required of you to see this through this slow motion process. Apparently you've even been pondering the temperature of the bathwater to have a suitable surrounding for the process. This is the pressure you're putting on your partner. This is what they're thinking that you're thinking about. This is as graphic as it becomes for them. Option 3. The taste of sonic speed. Apparently you've been pondering about a device capable of accelerating a small plastic and metal object to the velocity of 321 meters per second or higher. Apparently you've been pondering the financial and time requirements for you to obtain a license to actually acquire such a device. And apparently you're pondering how the taste of this process will be for the last 0.0256 seconds until the apparently desired result has arrived. This is the pressure that you're putting on your partner. This is what they're thinking that you're thinking about. This is as graphic as it becomes for them. Option number 4. The last option today. Vertical self-management. Because apparently you've been pondering a building with sufficient height and its access thereto, unless you already have your own castle. Apparently you're planning the logistics of time and day and the need to only make a single step. This was my preferred option back in October 2019 when I was hours away of following through. So now if you're at the point of actually really pondering and considering and planning this, I can only tell you, please don't. Please don't and stay, because there are so many ways that you can get your life back in order with help until you don't need the help anymore. That it would be a waste to drain everyone else from your presence in this life. This is the one shot right now you get. The one chance at life. For those of you who just say it in order to exert control out of a manipulation attempt and personal cowardice and lack of taking responsibility, I can only say, on risks and side effects, please face your childhood trauma. And finally, take responsibility for your life as an adult. When I was in the situation where I was hours away from following through with vertical self-management, I was in a relationship. Nobody knew about this, and I've been planning it for months. I didn't do it out of control attempts over others, and I didn't make it a freaking marketing campaign. So please get your act together. Back to you, ladies and gentlemen. When someone truly loves you, they do not threaten you with their own premature end of their own existence. And it is neither your duty nor responsibility to be their therapist, nor to take on their atlas load of their own world in addition to yours, so that he or she doesn't have to bear any yet again. We can lend each other hands temporarily, yes, And after that, we need to learn to carry our own worldly burdens and manage them and learn to grow. Welcome to life. That said, ladies and gentlemen, to you, be your own hero and be your own heroine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.